and welcome to the 52nd episode of Nerds Amalgamated. I'm Buck. I hope everyone's surviving the extreme heat that's still hanging around like a bad smell. With me, I have the Professor.
Hello.
And how are you going this week?
All right, apart from the heat, my computer crashing, and I kicked my my toe on a table.
Ouch. Not sure what hurt more, your computer crashing or kicking your toe. Both will bring a tear to your eye. Drop it. The toe did hurt more?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything exciting to share apart from kicking your toe and your computer crashing?
Jeez, you're picking the hard questions this week.
Well, we've been going for a long enough time that I figured people want to know a bit more about us, so there's nothing coming back.
No, nothing's coming.
Ah, well. And the little snigger you could hear in the background there was the DJ.
Hey guys.
And how are you going this week, DJ?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It's that time of the day.
You don't really sound too confident of that. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm all right.
Well, the heat is making me sound nervous because I don't know whether I'm going to be roasted or...
I will roast you. Don't worry about that.
I meant about the heat.
Ah. Is that your new boyfriend?
Nah. Nah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been good this week. This week's been good.
Anything exciting to share?
Well, it's back to school for most of the kids this week.
I thought you graduated.
Oh, I meant seeing the little kids, like saying, "Yeah, I'm going back to school," and seeing all those cheery faces at work, and you go, "Look at them! They don't even know that the real world's gonna crush them."
I don't like it because there's a bunch of schools in my suburb, and walking back up to the train station in the morning to get to work, I have to go against the literal horde of humanity. If I tripped over, they would trample me.
So that's where you just got to perfect that grumpy old man look. It works wonders. I walk to the train, they don't get in my way. I want to sit in a seat, they move. They're making too much noise, I just look at them.
They're scared of you sitting on them.
Well, even when I'm sitting down, I'm just giving them I do what I call the uncle look, the uncle stare, which is just a really dirty look where I let my glasses slide down on my nose a bit, and I look over the top of the frames, and I just give them a really flat look, and I don't even have to say a word, and it works from one length of a train carriage to the other, and it shuts up an entire carriage full of screaming girls. It's because as soon as one of them notices, they all pass around quickly, and they all just get up and leave the carriage and go to another carriage, or just they change to the other section of the train at the next station, sort of thing as well.
I take it you practiced it on your nieces and then you tried it on the train stations?
Well, with my nieces and nephews, it was only if they were doing something wrong that I would just give them a bit of a look. On the train, it's usually I'm actually angry because I'll go sit in the quiet carriage to do some reading, and then they all get on and think it's time to scream as loud as they can. I don't understand that. Maybe I'm just old.
Oh, no! What I don't understand is how whenever the school kids are like, "Oh, I can't," they say to their friends like, "Oh, I cannot wait to go to school." They sound like they're gonna miss them, and when school hits them, they see the same friends at school. I'm like, you're saying you're gonna miss them on the holidays, yet at school day you're gonna see them eventually. What's the difference?
It's the difference between riding dirty with your gangsters and being in prison with your gangsters.
Yeah. I got nothing to say on that. That's just, I think we should just move along because that's just so far removed from our usual topics.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of regret asking the question now. Trust the DJ. Anyway, first up this week, I was actually reading an article that's talking about fossilized feathers and how it's revealing some of the details for the evolution from flightless dinosaurs to birds we have flying around today. And apparently, because all mammals, I don't know if you guys realize this, all mammals have keratin that's produced on the surface of the skin. For a lot of land mammals, such as humans and mammals with fur, it's an alpha keratin which comes out as hair, body hair, or fur. There's also the beta keratin which comes out as claws and beaks and feathers, and the beta keratin is actually much more rigid, and that's what the feathers are made of. But apparently there's a flexible, semi-rigid beta keratin, and that's the main thing that helps with feathers. And while they still don't know exactly when it happened, they've got lots of examples showing the different stages of the changes in the feathers over the years.
So beta carotenes, hey?
And when I say over the years, I mean like 160 million years, 130 million years to 10 million years ago.
How long until they remake Jurassic Park, but it's just a remaster with CGI feathers on all the dinosaurs?
I don't know, but I wish they could get it right, because what's the Velociraptor? That apparently had feathers and wasn't as big as what they make it out to be in those movies. It was only half the size.
Yeah, the one in the movies is closer to a Utahraptor.
Yeah.
So does that mean in the Jurassic Park remake we're going to see a flying Tyrannosaurus Rex?
It won't be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but I think you are probably referring to the Quetzalcoatlus, which is one of the largest of the pterosaurs, particularly the Northropi. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Which is the other link that I gave you there, which was actually the size of a small airplane, had similar sort of wingspan. But the Cessna 172 light aircraft. So the wingspan of that was the same size as that plane, and it could stay aloft for 4 to 7 days, I think it was. And yeah, quite a scary thought when you consider the fact that when it was on the ground, it was a quadruped, but it could still fly, and it had a massive beak, and it had a flight range of 13,000 to 19,000 kilometers is what they're proposing.
That's
a long way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very, very huge bird.
So, up to 19,000 kilometers, it could fly intercontinental.
Yes. There were scientists who were suggesting that this particular dinosaur fed by skimming, just because of the shape of the beak and so forth. So it was kind of like a pelican or something like that. But predominantly they were found inland, and the dietary requirements don't match that. And something this size flying along trying to skim through the water to pick up fish, the aerodynamics would snap it and kill it. Especially when you consider the fact that it had a speed proposed at 130 kilometers an hour.
Wow, it's pretty fast.
Yep. So yeah, like it's one of my favorite dinosaurs because of the simple fact that it would have been amazingly cool. And I know the professor wants to be able to get hold of one to have it trained as a guard dog for in his front yard.
Yep.
Only problem is I don't know how he would dodge becoming its meal, because it was quite fond of eating things about the size of a man.
Well, I'd use chili powder, because if you don't want your dog to chew something, you can put chili powder on it.
So you're going to coat yourself from head to toe in chili powder every morning?
Yeah.
Wow, that's one heck of a deodorant.
I already do that to my dinner.
That's one heck of a deodorant, I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would go, because I don't know what sort of tongue it would have. And I've got a galah that actually enjoys eating chilies.
Yeah, because modern birds can't taste capsaicin.
So I think you might be out of luck there.
Out of curiosity, though, could you see yourselves living in a world similar to Dinotopia, where humans and dinosaurs are coexisting, basically?
Are they intelligent dinosaurs, or are they like pet dinosaurs?
I want intelligent dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah. Oh well. The problem is once you have the intelligent dinosaurs, you might get an uprising too.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Gets rid of some of the dumb ends of humanity.
Yeah, that is actually true as well. That's actually true.
But it would depend on the dinosaur you brought back. Because for example, if you brought the Quetzalcoatlus Northropi, if that was one of the ones that was around and it was intelligent, that would be pretty cool because it doesn't have an engine and any metal substance, so therefore flight will be silent and wouldn't be really detectable on radar, and it can stay aloft at 4,000 feet or something, or above the surface.
Do you want to hear the cool part about with what you just said?
What's that?
Pterosaur in Dinotopia. Pterosaurs are also common, especially the Quetzalcoatlus skybacks, who serve as steeds for the skybacks messenger riders.
Well, there you go. Traffic jams are gone. You make friends with one of these guys, and they give you a lift to work.
Yeah, but that would be cool. Imagine having some of the bringing back some of the dinosaur birds like the Pterosaurus and the Quetzalcoatlus.
Mm-hmm. Which is a particular pterosaur.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about how cool would the feathers be.
Ooh.
Like you got the you go to the drag queen shows and they have the feather boas and they've got the little fluffy feathers and then they have some of the bigger ones. Can you imagine the size of the feathers off some of those pterosaurs?
Oh yeah. And awesome. I bet you they'll be pretty expensive to get.
I'm pretty sure they are at the moment because they're all fossils. But,
I mean, like imagine like when you bring them back, it'd be like
no expense.
You seem to have this focus on how much things are worth. You can't just appreciate the beauty.
Da na 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 na.
But anyway, I suppose we should probably move on because otherwise, I could probably wax poetical about how cool those dinosaurs are. Just out of curiosity, what's your favourite dinosaur, Professor?
Oh, I had one a while back. I can't remember who it is now.
Wasn't Bob, was it?
Bob.
No. After what he said to me last week, he's not my favourite anymore.
Okay. DJ?
Damn. When I was a kid, I always loved the Triceratops. When I was a kid, but nowadays, I just like the raptors, just like the Velociraptors, because for their speed and agility, and the wolf-like mentality.
You got to go for a Stegosaurus though. You're fat, you get to eat all day, and nothing bugs you because you got the big armor plates.
Yeah, but you can also say the same with the Ankylosaurus. They do that.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex was actually... There's actually just proposals that it was either Indian or British. Really now?
That is interesting.
Well, it's always been referred to as the T-Rex. The DJ's confused.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like the Tyrannosaurus Rex is British and Indian.
T-Rex.
I would have a pet T-Rex and I would call him Mark Bolan.
Let's just confuse the DJ even more.
While
he's trying to figure that one out, let's move on to the next topic, which was from you, I believe, DJ.
Yes, indeedy.
So we go and confuse him, and then we expect him to be able to present.
We want to challenge him and stretch him.
Okay, so I've got some Star Trek news for all you Star Trek fans, and that is in the new Star Trek series. Our beloved favorite character, Jean-Luc Picard, played by good old Sir Patrick Stewart, will no longer be a Starfleet captain.
What's going on?
I feel like there's some. I feel like the Penguins are up to this. Must be the Penguins.
Everything on the Penguins. Can you also tell us why isn't he a Starfleet captain? Is he now an admiral or?
Well, they're saying
going into a black hole.
I have no idea, but according to the Star Trek Next Generation's Jonathan Frakes, he directed the most recent episode of Star Trek Discovery, During the interview, he said that the next generation crew would be eager to join, but also admitted it would seem unlikely. And he also suggested that Piccard is no longer a Starfleet captain, having moved on to other things.
So, in other words, he's become an admiral or he's retired.
Yeah.
Probably living in a chateau in France.
Drinking his tea, Earl Grey Hot.
Yep.
Although I wish they bring. If there's one character I like to see hit in Patrick Stewart series, it'll be number 2. Or was it number 1? Riker. That's the one.
Who is number 1?
That's John.
No. He's the captain. First officer is number 1, and that was Riker.
Yeah, that was Riker, yeah.
There we go. Now we can go and finally answer the question they asked in The Prisoner back in the 60s.
Man, but I don't know, man. It sounds really weird. Just saying that Jean-Luc Picard is not captain. Like, he's always iconic with that role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
If you look,
he
a
wasn't
bit further,
captain.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you look a bit further into it, he's still in there. It's just not the way you used to. You got to remember, like, in the storyline, 20 years will have passed. So
It's not like he was captain in the original series or Enterprise or whatever. He was only being captain in The Next Generation. None of the other shows have featured him.
Nah.
As far as I know.
Oh, they did feature him, but not really. Oh, well, his voice only, which was Enterprise, yeah. Yeah, and
apparently returning to the role in a new Star Trek series.
Yeah.
But they're not giving out too many details.
No. There's so far. I think they're still writing. They're still writing, and from what the director's saying, that he's thrilled and excited to be invited into the writers' room, and he's a producer of the show. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool seeing him produce a couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you want to see come back besides Riker and Picard, fellas?
Scotty and McCoy.
Scotty, hey?
But the original Scotty. I know it's not possible. Yeah, the original Scotty and McCoy.
Scotty, Scott. I know who you're talking. Bones and Scotty. Yeah, they're cool.
I'd want to see Captain Christopher Pike.
Pike.
Yes.
Why?
But why?
Because that's who it wants. You didn't say we had to justify it. You just.
Oh no, I was going to say justify it as well, but okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'll justify it because he only got 1 episode.
And yes, he lived and died in that 1 episode, didn't he?
No, he was who they had before they got William Shatner. He was in the pilot.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
and yeah, okay, cool. So I vaguely remember that name because I saw the reboot series, and yeah, he was in there.
Oh, it turns out he is in the show officially or something. It seems.
Actually,
they mention it.
Yeah, he was mentioned in the Star Trek. Yeah, he's mentioned in.
Go for anyone, Tom Baker,
but he's not in Star Trek.
That's where you're wrong.
Oh.
Because the company that makes Star Trek comics has done a crossover between the Star Trek comics and the Doctor Who comics. Therefore, Tom Baker is a Star Trek character.
Okay.
And plus he's the Doctor, so he can go anywhere.
That'll be an interesting episode. Just having a crossover between the Star Trek cast and Doctor Who cast.
Well, there's comics about it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I get that, the comics about it, but imagine having a BBC and is it CBS that does the Star Trek series?
I'm not sure, but I could see that if the BBC did Star Trek, it would suddenly become really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. A
lot better special effects. It's it is CBS that does Star Trek.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I would love to have seen like a few episodes where Tom Baker is there as a captain of another Starfleet command, and gets to tell off I don't know, Captain Kirk for being a lech.
Oh, you know what would be an epic battle in Star Trek? The Doctor versus Q.
I would put my
The
money on
Seventh
the Doctor.
Doctor versus Q, though. The Seventh Doctor is most like Q.
Ooh, you reckon?
Yeah, they're both the mastermind.
Mhm.
The other Doctors have elements of it, but none of them take it to the extent that the Seventh does.
Okay.
And but if we had Tom Baker as a captain, I'd want what's his name, Llewellyn, who played Q in James Bond, as the chief engineer.
I'm sure you don't mean Robert Llewellyn.
Robert Llewellyn, that's it.
Wait, the guy who plays Crichton?
No. The guy who played Q in the original Bond, like he was one of the only original characters that was in all the movies.
Oh, wait, are we talking Star Trek Q or James Bond Q?
James
Star
Bond
Trek Q.
James Bond Q.
No, I'm talking about Star Trek Q.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's who I want. So therefore, you're irrelevant and wrong.
Okay, he's been portrayed by Peter Burton, Desmond Llewellyn, Jeffrey Belden,
Llewellyn.
Alec McCowan, John Cleese, and Ben Whishaw. Yeah,
Desmond Llewellyn. He was
classic.
He was the one there for most of the episodes.
Yeah,
Up
from
until
63 until 99.
Yeah, he I could just see him playing the part of the chief engineer really, really well. You have Tom Baker as the captain, him as the chief engineer, and John Cleese as the actual head doctor for medical. There you go.
By the way,
amazing cast right there.
Yep.
By the way, guys, the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover. From what I'm seeing so far, the only one they have is with Matt Smith as the Doctor.
I thought there was one with David Tennant.
So yeah, that's the one I'm seeing so far. But there are a couple of crossovers. It did some interesting crossovers. There was the Star Trek with the X-Men. That was. There's the Star Trek with the Planet of the Apes called the Primate Directive, and there's Star Trek versus Transformers.
Because nothing sells quite like prostituting yourself.
Oh man, but I don't know, that'd be an interesting crossover. Doctor Who universe with the Star Trek universe.
But anyway, if anyone listening would like to tell us who they would love to see in a crossover and be a captain, let us know. Send us a message, send us a comment. We're opening up to hear you. So let us know what you reckon. But moving along, Professor, you've got something about someone packing up their bag and heading home or something?
Well, they're not really heading home. It's more like leaving home. The Metro games, which have always been on Steam, have sold the exclusivity rights for Metro Exodus to the Epic Games Store.
So what's that going to mean for all those who... Because you could actually buy Metro Exodus on Steam for a while there, couldn't you?
Well, that's the thing. If you bought it on Steam as a pre-order, directly through Steam, you're fine. If you bought the physical edition, even if it's got the Steam logo on it, it comes with an Epic Games key.
Okay.
And they announced this 2 weeks before release.
Oh.
But the thing is, for them to have CD keys going out for Epic Games, then they must have had this planned since the game went gold and they started preparing retail packages.
So in other words, they're being naughty little boys and girls and playing funny games.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Valve puts in a restriction now that if you want to have your game on Steam at any point, you're not allowed to withdraw it like as easily as they can now.
So basically, you're wanting them to have a contract saying if you put your game at Steam and if you leave within, let's say, like 30 days after release, you will be heavily punished.
Yeah, because it's not the only game recently that has been pulled from the Steam store before release.
So, what is there any idea what's going to be happening with the future between the developers for Metro and Steam? Is it going to create a massive rift that's irreparable?
Valve has said that they're not happy, but I don't know how much they're going to blame 4A games, and how much they're going to blame Epic.
Mm-hmm.
They have said that it's unfair, but they haven't come out with any sort of official plan on how they're going to go ahead. But apart from that, if you have bought the game on Steam already before it was taken off, you will still get it, and it will be available on Steam 1 year after release.
Only 1 year? What about going forward? Like, if you've pre-purchased it, and are you still going to be able to play it after 1 year, or is it you got 1 year and then you got to change?
No, it's that it will be available on the Steam store in 1 year.
Okay.
So if you didn't buy it yet and you still want it on Steam, you've got to wait a year to pick it up.
Okay. I wonder if there's any antitrust stuff that needs to be considered as part of this.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things that... Because that was what Google came a cropper on with in Europe there, was the antitrust laws. And I think Apple's been done on that and a few other companies.
The famous one is Microsoft getting done for integrating Internet Explorer with Windows.
But, yeah, Google got done for antitrust laws for the shopping, where they promote people who paid more. That was considered antitrust and a breach just recently. A couple of years ago now. But yeah.
What's interesting to me is how Steam used to be that one store, and it's the only game launcher.
That's because it was the only store.
Yeah, and then ever since last year, we've been seeing a couple of more separate launches have popped out, like Bethesda.
It's been a bit longer than last year, really.
Oh yeah, but this is more
because Bethesda's had their own store for a while.
Bethesda, EA,
but it hasn't got to more newsworthy, like how Bethesda said when Bethesda came out with Fallout 76, they said, okay, we're not going to put this on Steam, we're going to put it on our own launcher, which cheesed a lot of people off.
The difference is that there weren't as many exclusives, and this is a particularly bad part because they pulled it from Steam. So it's not just Bethesda saying, our game, our launcher. It's them saying, we were going to sell it to you, but now we've been bought out, and we're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You reckon we'll see like a couple more launches coming out, or you reckon?
On one hand, I hope that something good comes out, because feature-wise, there's a lot that could be done to improve the launches. But on the other hand, all the ones that come out are completely half-assed and missing dozens of features that Steam has had for years, and they just fragment your library.
I mean, Discord itself is also entering into the Steam market as well. I think we covered that topic a long time ago.
Is it the Steam market or the games market?
The Steam market in terms of being the one-stop shop for games.
Well, that's not, because Steam's a product and source. It's not an item. So what they're selling is games, etc.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Like, it's not. So it's not the Steam market that they're entering. They're entering the games distribution.
My mistake. But I agree with you, Professor. That hopefully we might see something good out of it. But do you reckon Epic might survive that long, or?
I would think so. Unless Fortnite crashes and burns horribly and they've done absolutely nothing with the money they've made. They're not going to have any money problems for quite a while.
And you said Fortnite.
Yeah, because Epic, who made the Epic Game Store and the Unreal Engine, also made Fortnite.
Well, aren't they one of the games that was being banned in China?
Yes, which is funny because
they've now lost
has like almost 50% share in Epic.
So therefore, since they've now lost China, there goes 50% of their market
and 90% of the cheaters.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but
I think what's going to be interesting is how many indie games are going to move Steam to Epic Game Store because of the revenue split between Steam's revenue split and Epic Game Store revenue split. It's interesting. Like Steam's one is basically 70-30. Epic Game Store is 88-12.
Well, a lot of indie games rely on modding, and Steam provides the best modding tools in the Steam Workshop of any game launcher out there.
Yeah, but still, it's just the whole revenue thing. It comes down to a cost benefit decision in the end.
But that is like the game developers have got to, wherever they sell their games, they've got to look at the fact that the people who are distributing the game for them have to make money somehow, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, it doesn't matter the percentage, because 88-12, they're getting a higher percentage of the cut, but the amount of money that's being charged needs to be considered.
Yeah, and Epic's getting the cut so low because they're offering basically no complimentary services. It's just a store. Steam has things like the workshop, streaming, in-home streaming. They're working on Linux support.
They've also got a lot of free games that are coming through and free patches to try and encourage a lot of extra new up-and-coming developers to get their name out there.
So basically,
what's its name? Who is it that does all the free stuff and cheap specials?
Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle, that's it. They've got a good relationship with Humble Bundle as well, who recently though has started dealing with GOG for some of the stuff as well.
Well, GOG themselves have a program, I think it's called GOG Connect, where if you link it to your Steam account or your Origin account or any of the other accounts they support, and there's a game you own on that account that is also available on GOG, they will give you a license for it.
Okay.
Which doesn't really cost them anything as far as I know, and because GOG games are DRM free, so they could really just give you a copy. But I don't know if they have to pay any licensing fees.
It's one of those things to consider and look at because, like Humble Bundle is one of the big groups that everyone enjoys dealing with, and you don't mind supporting them. And Steam has a pretty high reliability, although some people are upset with it and they're going with GOG and a couple of the others. But the reality is you want that quality of support which Steam and some of them have got, but a majority of the others just don't seem to have. Like Epic is a skeleton crew, which is a half-assed attempt.
Now they're doing this. Steam's not making any more profit on selling copies of Metro, which means they're now a free distribution platform. They're making nothing from this. Epic can push all the patches and stuff they want, but Steam can't possibly make any more money until the end of the year. So I can't imagine that's going to make them happy because they're supporting the forums. If there's a mod workshop, there's that. Cloud saves, all of that.
Yep. I can see there's going to be some major fallout because it's obviously a planned move. Like, it's not something that's happened afterwards and they've got to put out extra gear for. It's all come out at the same time, which is the reason why I was asking the question about the antitrust and so forth.
Yeah.
There's going to be some interesting fallout from this, whether it's made public or it's all behind closed doors or something like that. But I can see Valve coming out and having a bit of a stomp session on somebody because this is it's a dirty move to do. Like, it's something that they've planned and they've worked on, and now all of a sudden it's a slimy, dirty move.
Yeah, that's the business. That's the business aspect of it, though.
Yeah, but this sort of business is bad business because it destroys the relationship. And Valve's now going to turn around and just look at them and just say, yeah, look, we don't trust you. So everything else from those guys is suddenly going to start to smell kind of bad and get less support. And let's face it, if Valve turns around and pursues a antitrust and sues them for damages based on all the free content that they're not able to make money from, but they're going to have to support and everything like that, I can see them suddenly owning a new label because they can hurt. Is it 4K you said?
4A.
4A. I can see 4A suffering pretty badly from this because this is a premeditated, dirty move which will shatter the relationship between Valve and 4A in a pretty catastrophic manner.
It seems like it was pushed through by their publisher, though. 4A are claiming that basically they had nothing to do with it. So we could get lucky. They could leave Deep Silver.
Whoever's responsible, it's going to go pretty... Because, if it's 4A's game, they've got to be involved somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Because at some point, somewhere along the line, they've known that this has happened before this. So, yeah, and Deep Silver's CEO he's put himself in a pretty precarious position. So the whole lot of it's just going to go pretty bad.
So even with the favorable revenue split when you're transferring from Steam to Epic Game Store, you guys reckon it will be it's a bad business decision in the long run?
Well, it's shattering the relationship. Like it's making a deal, and then at the last minute you turn around and you say, "Oh yeah, look, no, you're still going to do all this work, but you're going to get nothing for it." How would you feel if someone did that to you?
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty bummed out.
You'd only be bummed out. I'd be livid. I would be over there tearing you a new one.
Oh,
I wouldn't trust anything you said if you did that to me ever again. Like some of the stuff. Like you got to look at business is a relationship. Are you going to trust someone who's just lied to you and kicked you in the ghoulies?
No, I wouldn't trust him. I would throw him, but I wouldn't trust him.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what has happened here. They've come out and done all this, and then they've lied essentially with what's happening, and then they kicked Steam and Valve fair square in the ghoulies and poked them in the eyes and tweaked their nose. So, yeah, I can see there's going to be some massive issues that need to be resolved before Valve will do anything with 4A or Deep Silver or any of their affiliates. They're just not going to trust them. They're going to have contracts that will be locking them in that if they breach it, will be crushing. And what was remember we discussed the lawsuit that was involving
emulators and whatnot.
Yeah, the emulators and so forth with Star Citizen a while back. They were facing massive lawsuits.
People were trying to sue Star Citizen because the game still hasn't released.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And there was someone who was suing over the fact that there was a lot of changes in things and breaches of contract, and that was becoming a massive, epic lawsuit. I can see something similar happening out of this, which, unfortunately, if it does, could probably spell the end of the Metro Exodus existence, or it would be moved to being owned by Valve or someone else, because it's just all the ramifications of this can be such massive, catastrophic failures. Because let's face it, Valve is one of the biggest companies out there to mess with, and they've just gone up and poured petrol onto a fire.
Yeah, this will be I think this is going to be a very long battle.
This has got the grounds of either going Star Citizen level lawsuit or EA.
Oh,
because breach of antitrust laws is actually the governments usually are involved in that, and they come after you, and they literally have people who crawl inside you looking for evidence. They don't mess about with it, so
yeah.
Be something to keep an eye on, and yeah, if we hear anything further, we'll try and let you know and keep you updated. But yeah, let's move along. So what games have you been playing this week, Professor?
I have been playing, but I thought I'd talk about what my girlfriend has been playing. She doesn't really play games. She's probably had an hour of playtime across her entire life so far. But I sat her down and I gave her my Switch and got her into Stardew Valley, and it's completely hooked her. when I was leaving her place after I was staying there for the weekend. When I was leaving her place, I was half tempted to double check my bag to make sure she hadn't stolen my Switch.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, is this a brag point just to be able to say you've actually got a girlfriend?
Damn, you got me.
The professor's flexing right now, going, "Yes, I have."
No, I am lifting you up along with all the other nerds who listen to us, showing that it is possible for nerds to have girlfriends. No, I want to talk about how Stardew is such a simple game, but it manages to be so addictive, and how people who have never gamed before can pick it up and understand what's going on.
It's good to see you sharing the love of gaming, which is something I've done with all my nephews and nieces. So I can understand that because it gives you the excuse to be able to play games as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the first impressions, it looks like a traditional Game Boy style game we play on, like playing Pokemon. It's like playing old school Pokemon, but not
It's more like playing Harvest Moon. It's
Okay.
literally a spiritual successor to Harvest Moon.
Okay.
I have to say, I like the idea of riding the horses along the frozen river. Well, I think it's a river. It might be a road.
I don't.
Some of the pictures.
I'll have to look it up, but I don't remember there being frozen, like riding horses on a frozen river.
Okay. Just looking at the images on Steam, and there's like a winter scene, and they're riding horses.
Okay. Yeah, there are horses actually. Yeah, I think that is just a pathway.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that one of the horses is actually wearing the hat rather than the guy. Actually, 3 of the horses are wearing hats. One of them's actually wearing a top hat. Professor, you're a horse.
Nay, what would give you that idea?
Well, there you go. But if you want to see what the professor looks like, he apparently looks like a horse in a top hat. But, so did you actually play this as well, or was it just the girlfriend?
Yeah, I've played it quite a bit in the past. I haven't played in a long time now, but it was mostly her. I was giving her advice, helping her remember where things were when she got lost.
Mm-hmm. What's the soundtrack like? Because they're selling it separately.
It's really nice. It's a very calm soundtrack. Sort of. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Sort of ambient music, slow, just sort of plucking at a guitar.
Okay.
I think it suits the game really well.
I've just found it on YouTube. Oh, there's a bit of flute music in there too.
Yep.
We'll put a link up. It's like 2 hours of it or something, but yeah. So, any particular parts of it that stand out as something to look out for, or?
Well, I think the design of it was so clear that I really only had to explain the basic controls and help her when she forgot those. Which, if she hears this, she'll probably give me a slap. But but once she had the controls down, it flowed really well. The design of the game is such that basically anyone could pick it up, I think. And that's something that I've always wanted to aim for in my own game design.
And next week you'll have 2 black eyes from 2 massive slaps and an uppercut. You just said it's so simple that anyone can play. I just like to say congratulations. You just outdid the DJ of putting your foot in it. Not just to the knee. You've gone past the hip and everything like that. That's just monumental. In further news, the professor is now, I think.
So how many hours?
No. I think we should just move along before he gets into more trouble.
Oh, okay.
I can just. Yeah, I think we should just back away.
Save me from myself.
So what have you been playing, DJ?
After so much of denial, I decide of not playing Fallout 76. I decided to play Fallout 76.
Did you play the song in the background that I said to you for when you're playing it?
No.
Okay.
I played the Akon version instead, and that just made it even worse.
Well, Akon wouldn't make anything worse, but yeah. For those who are wondering what it is, it was the song "Oh So Lonely." Who was it that sang it again?
Bobby Vinton. That's the one.
We'll include a link for people. It's just because when you play Fallout 76, there's such a lack of anybody else in the game. So,
I already done that.
So,
yeah. But man,
stop messing up the show notes, DJ.
But I will say this: Fallout 76. I thought it would be like after so much patches, I thought they would go, yes, we've perfected this game. But guess what? They didn't. It's worse. It is gone. It's regressed back to. No, not regressed. It
has
worsened.
Regressed. There are bugs in it now that were in there and were fixed and are back in there.
But worse, it's got even more bugs now.
You would think like after 4 months of release, and with so many problems, they would fix it up. All these problems, but no, they didn't. It's. I mean, I constantly get crashes. The frame rates are still laggy as hell. Monsters still don't run up to you properly. It's just sliding. It just slides instead of running. I don't know, man. It's just so many problems. They should. I don't know why did Bethesda do this? I mean, honestly.
Did you actually see anybody else that when you were playing though?
I didn't. I saw 1 or 2 people, and that was it. I played like 2 or 3 hours of the game. I only saw 2 people. That's it at best, and yeah, it's just not a good game, man.
I've got Bobby Vincent playing in the background for you.
If only I bet you Bobby Vinton would have also said, "Don't buy this game."
Well, he probably would have said it anyway because of the simple fact that he probably wouldn't have enjoyed computer games. but he would have been too busy with his girlfriend.
But honestly, though, it's just like the professor said. Like they brought in the patches, which fixed the problem. Then they brought another patch and brought back the old problems.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they should have. I'm now worried about what new patches are they going to bring out now. What's
that? The one-legged man with one arm cut off, and he's got a hook for a hand on the arm that's left, and he's only got one eye.
You mean Captain Hook?
No. I was just thinking, is that that he's got to go to the bathroom? Is that kind of what's happening with the development team over at Bethesda? Yeah,
I could say that. I could see that happen. Like it's just shot to hell. I think. Yeah, it's just shot to hell, man. Like, here's the problem with Bethesda. Like, from what I've seen, is that most of the stuff were all outsourced, primarily.
But that should actually reduce some of the problems that they've been having with Bethesda.
That's what, in theory, yeah. But
like, there's whole generations of developers out there that have actually been getting oxygen to their brains, which Bethesda seems to have not been doing. Although, having said that, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online at the moment, it's totally different to all the other Elder Scrolls stuff I've played. It's got some beautiful gameplay and some fantastic scenery. It's just, doesn't seem to have a clear storyline to follow at some point. And yeah,
no, I don't know, man. Like Bethesda, at this stage, I just want to just uninstall the game and just never touch it ever again. I'm at that stage right now, but...
So you're not going to buy the special leather jacket?
No, the leather jacket. Oh dear God!
I was actually surprised. I actually went and looked. They got all the different clothing items for merchandising. So they got T-shirts and everything like that. I could just picture you in the Fallout 76 T-shirt with a leather jacket and the power armor helmet, and then to offset the look, you have the pathetic plastic bag which falls apart. Like, way to go, Bethesda! Your marketing department just sucks royally.
Oh man! And to make it even worse, the new Coke drink they sold. Oh, it was terrible. How
You
they
actually went and bought one, did you?
No, I didn't buy one. I saw a couple of review videos. So the review videos basically all they show was they felt the bottle, and the ads was basically, oh, you will get a very special type of bottle. It looks like glass, but when the reviewers got the bottle, it was like a plastic ripoff.
Oh, is this the one where they had the special rum in it, just inside a plastic outer shell?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I looked at that and I thought it's plastic. When just looking at the pictures, and I thought you looked wrong. But I think we should move along. Otherwise, we getting in trouble with Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
No, suspend our accounts. Suppose we should take a special pause here at the moment to remember. Is it the Challenger that exploded?
Oh yeah, the Challenger space crew. Yeah.
So special pause and sad event. And moving along now though, shout outs this week. We have the 29th of January, 1845. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was published in the New York Evening Mirror. One of the most classic stories to get hold of. 16th of January 1974, we have the 45th anniversary of the Rubik's Cube being invented, and the start of many cheating episodes where people would break it apart or change the stickers because they couldn't figure it out. The 29th of January 1980, the 39th anniversary of Rubik's Cube's international debut at the Ideal Toy. Okay. Two of the same thing there, DJ. What are you doing to me?
Well, you broke him.
Yeah, I don't know. We actually have a position opening if you want to do our show notes. 30th of January, 1969.
The only requirement is you speak English.
Oh, we should have enforced that with the DJ. 30th of January, 1969. The Beatles' last performance on Apple Records rooftop, and that is not in any way related to Apple, the company that makes a crappy, oversized, overpriced mobile phone, which has now lost massive amounts of value. That was actually a company that made great music. Yes, you got to wonder how they're handling over Apple since their values dropped so bad that it's actually worth the value has lost more than what Facebook is worth.
Wow.
Didn't you hear about that?
No, I missed that.
The head of Apple has come out and blamed China producing cheap phones for the fact that its share price value has dropped so dramatically. The company's been devalued more than Facebook is worth. So many billions of dollars, or hundreds of billions of dollars. I can't remember the exact figure off the top of my head at the moment. But it's just like it's the ultimate epic fail because he's saying because they're producing such cheap phones, we can't keep up with them. So yeah, maybe you should look at the fact that your phone's overpriced and sucks. But moving along, let's not talk about Apple too much. Special remembrances this week. On the 30th of January, 1948, we have Orville Wright, the US aviation pioneer, died of a cardiac arrest at the age of 76 in Daytona, Ohio. The 30th of January, 1991, John Bardeen, American physicist, electrical engineer, and co-inventor of the transistor. He won 2 Nobel Prizes, one in 1956 and another in 1972. Also died of he died of heart disease, not a cardiac arrest. at the age of 82 in Boston, Massachusetts. 31st of January 1956, A.A. Milne, the English author of the Winnie the Pooh books, dies of a stroke at 74 in Hertford, Sussex. A lot of heart disease issues here.
Yeah.
Didn't notice the trend until reading through that just then. And then there was a couple of others that people who passed this week. Who were they, Professor?
Matt Rose, the special effects guy for Alien and Predator. And we posted another one this morning.
Dick Miller from the movie Gremlins and The Terminator, to name a few. He passed away as well at the age of 90.
So, yeah, sad passings. And, yeah, we'll have those included in the show notes at the end of it. They will be missed. They brought so much joy to the world. Birthdays this week. On the 29th of January, born in 1945, Tom Selleck, the actor. He was Lance in the Rockford Files, Magnum P.I. He was the commissioner in Blue Bloods and many other other shows and movies. Was born in Detroit, Michigan. 30th of January, born in 1925. We have Douglas Engelbart, American computer scientist, the man who brought us the computer mouse. And Engelbart's Law was born in Portland, Oregon. 30th of January, born in 1949. Peter Agrey, American biologist and Nobel laureate, was born in Northfield, Minnesota. What was his special thing there, DJ?
Peter Agrey.
Yeah. Come on, I spoke about this with you the other day.
Something to do with cellular movement. Yes. Discoveries concerning channels of cell membrane.
That's it.
Yeah. And he was recognized for his discovery of aquaporin water channels.
Mm-hmm. And did some amazing work with malaria.
Yeah.
Events of interest. 29th of January, 1886. Carl Benz patents the Benz patent Motorwagen in Karlsruhe, Germany. The world's first automobile with a burning motor. So, the beginning of Mercedes-Benz. Do you know who Mercedes-Benz was?
Was a wife?
No, daughter. 29th of January, 1964. Dr. Strangelove, or also known as Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, directed by Stanley Kubrick and starring Peter Sellers and George C. Scott, premieres.
That's a good name. That's a good film title.
Yes. I think they went for the shorter one. I think they went for the shorter title just because of the fact that the film was almost over by the time you finished saying the name. But yeah, 29th of January, 1993, the US Postal Service issues a stamp commemorating chemist Percy Levon Julian. And here we go. We'll put the DJ on the spot again. What was his claim to fame?
His was wait, let me get that. He's a pioneer of the industrial large-scale chemistry synthesis of hormones, prosterone. Testosterone and progesterone from plant sterols.
And
so he's basically the pioneer of medical drugs from plants, basically.
Synthesizing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that was special about him?
He's the guy that he's the grandfather of steroids.
And
yeah, first Black American to receive a doctorate in chemistry.
Exactly.
One of the first. Yeah, one of the first African Americans.
Yeah, took a while, but we got there.
Yeah.
On the 29th of January 2006, another stamp was released, which is featuring Hattie McDaniel in a dress she wore in 1940 when she became the first African American actress to accept an Academy Award. So, definitely an amazing lady worth a Although I have to say, it was only a 39-cent stamp. They should have made it like at least $1.50 or $2.
Although that was the dress that she was in, pretty nice dress.
Oh, I'm not discounting that. I'm saying she's worth more.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's everything. Nothing else we need to cover?
Ooh, we got 1 year coming up soon.
Next episode.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Next week.
Oh, our birthday episode. We're going to have fun.
We have fun every week.
Oh, yeah.
We might even have pizza or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what
I
happens.
didn't know there was pizza on the table.
Hopefully there will be. So yeah, definitely something everyone has to help us celebrate. We'll see how everyone goes and see what we can do. So you can find if you want to find somewhere else to listen to us, where can they find us, DJ?
That's not canon.com. They can find us on that website. And also you can buy our merch. We've got some really cool merch.
And our episodes are also located where?
On Spotify, on Stitcher, on iTunes, and any other audio platform you can think of.
Really?
Well,
So it's on Google Play?
hopefully it is.
Better be now. If they want to send us a tweet, where do they find us? Twit?
They can find us at namalgamated. That's our Twitter handle.
And our email?
nerds.amalgamated@gmail.com. You can email us there.
We're on Facebook at Nerds Amalgamated. And is there any other way they can contact?
Besides email and Facebook and Twitter.
We haven't learned smoke signals, so don't try that, folks. Plus, it's too hot to do it in summer.
No, we have no. That's about that. That's all we can.
That's all we've got at the moment.
That's all we got at the moment.
Awesome. Anything else we need to add in there? Anywhere, Professor?
I think we've covered it all. Just if
Awesome.
you are in America, you might want to practice your smoke signals right now.
Yes.
'Cause it looks like it's rather cold there. If you wouldn't mind
And-
picking up some of that snow and sending it here.
We'd definitely love it. Plus, is their government still on strike?
They've
No,
taken
they
a 3-week temporary reopening.
Okay. So you
they've
might
got
still
2
need
weeks, I think.
you might still need smoke signals to get messages across the country. So yep, it's good night from me.
See you next week.
See you guys.